I've watched a lot of movies that I wanted to see for a while, and I've watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies. I didn't wanna. I knew I'd like them. I have to say right now, I did like them. I knew I would like them. I just didn't really want to watch all three movies that are over 3 hours long. It felt like a very big commitment to me, so the only time I'd want to watch them was on airplanes, which I did. It was a nice experience. I did have to pause quite a bit, especially in the second and third movie, because it was very long. It was very long. But my overall rating of all the movies combined is strong 8. I would say strong 8. I did not like everything, but we'll talk about later. I don't really have to, I guess, explain the plot. Everyone knows. Okay, I'll just talk about things I like and dislike. I think most people watch Lord of the Rings, or at least know what's going on there. So I'll start with characters. With characters, what I liked, what I disliked. I do think that they have a very good cast of very diverse characters, starting with Frodo, which he was so likable. I thought I adored him in the first movie. In the first movie, I did not really like him in the second and third one. I know the ring influenced him, blah blah blah, but I still did find a lot of his decisions dumb, which we're supposed to do. He just annoyed me. I think Frodo and Sam switched for me because I did not like Sam at all in the first movie, and I grew to like him. At the end, I did enjoy his character as much as I did Frodo's. I would say Sam is definitely queer. He's definitely gay, but just for Frodo. I think he's straight most of the time, and then whenever he sees Frodo, he switches. Then who else? We have other hobbits. Pippin, I've Mary. I'm very bad with names, but I did like them. I thought there were. I again in the first movie they did not really have a lot of characterization. In the later movies, I did like them quite a bit, especially Pippin. I hope I am right about Pippin being the guy who was serving Gondor, the evil guy. So they're likable overall. They had their highlights, and yes, Legolas. I thought he was super hot. I thought he was super attractive, but he did not really have a lot of characterization or character development. I think he was just that hot, loyal friend, and that's it. He didn't have any conflicts. He didn't argue with anyone. He barely talked to anyone except Aragon and the dwarf. That's it. He definitely had. I think I was more okay with that because I've watched all the Hobbits and he had his character development there. But if we're considering that this movie came out before Hobbits, I would be very surprised if someone found him like he's likable, but I don't love him. I don't love his character. It's just cool. Aragon, I do like him. I think they made like a good guy character who is very brave, very loyal, courageous, blah blah blah. He was not unlikable. He was pretty smart guy for most part. I will have to look at my notes to see if there was anything that I disliked that he did. I was so happy he came back to his loyal elf wife because she was so attractive, she was so beautiful. He would have fumbled so hard if he went to for the uh, girl, the normal girl, the princess. I did like her, but she definitely wasn't on the same level as the elf princess. Come on. Gandalf was carrying the whole series on his shoulders. Oh god, he not only is he a likable character, but he's also very powerful, wise. The only thing I did not really get is just why wasn't he farting? Yes, why was he fighting with magic more? I think most of the time he used his sword, or whenever he used the spells, they didn't look cool or didn't feel cool. Except the only time I remember he used a cool spell was the spell by itself wasn't cool, but the moment was nice. At the end of the first movie, when he died, quote unquote, which I guess I got spoiled on, but I did not realize that he was gonna die. He didn't really die, but we'll come to it. I a lot of people like Gondor guy, the person who died at the end of the first movie. I did like him. I did see from the beginning that he's not actually gonna betray them, but there would be some conflict between him and other members of the crew, which I liked. I think it was a very good sacrifice. I think he did quite a bit for the plot and just other people's character development. Yeah, he was a good character. Definitely more characterization than Legolas. And Legolas was in every movie. The CGI and most of the things in Lord of the Rings looked very nice, even though it came out before I was born. The only thing I did not like, it was when the wizards were fighting each other in the first movie, and they were just blowing wind to each other and close-up shots of them grunting. That's all. I did not like this fight. The one thing I hope when I'll be reading the books that will be explained is just why the rings were made. Okay, how they were made exactly, and why was there this powerful ring that just so much better than the other rings. Also, I guess just a little sad that they didn't really show the usage of other rings. We did not really see them. We didn't really see a lot of dwarves there too, and I also did not really like the power of the main ring. Like, sure, it will make you invisible, but other than that, is there nothing more to it? I hope maybe it will give you some physical power or mental abilities. Just something. If there's like absolutely nothing except being invisible, which is nice, I just thought it was a little disappointing and I saw a bigger potential. It could have been something better. You Shall Not Pass, I think, is one of the bigger reasons why I like the first movie the most. I also think that it was dragged the least, or I got bored. I didn't really get bored. I think I watched all of it in one sitting, where other movies I had to pause and take a break. Dark Soldiers, the one that were on dragons and shit, they looked like creatures from Harry Potter. I forgot what they're called, but you know, the one that are like on trains and like kissing you to get your soul. And in the second movie, most annoying characters were the king. He pissed me off. He's such a coward. I think he pissed me off in the third movie as well, even though he got better. But I just did not like his character. I could understand why he did it. I just found him annoying, and I did not really enjoy him that much. I liked his niece, right? His niece, I thought she was a little annoying at first, and then the third movie when she was actually fighting one of the soldiers, Dark Soldiers, I thought it was nice. Sure, it was one of the like Avengers woman moments, but I think it was done well and she deserved it. And I don't think it was that bad. Um, I'm just glad that there was at least one female warrior there. A Golem is also a very interesting character. I felt so bad for him, and I really hoped for the best, even though I knew he would die with the ring at the end. It's just very sad to see Frodo and Sam, in a way, failing him, even though they couldn't really do anything about it. It could have been so much better. He could have been saved. He definitely could have been saved. I'm also, when they explained the Gandalf white to gray Gandalf thing, maybe I'm just dumb, I did not really get it. I was like, cool, he's back, and I'm happy about it. Without him, they would have failed for sure, but I did not get it. I'll probably have to read the explanation online. The battle behind the walls was pretty nice. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. But I think because there's so many battles just in Lord of the Rings and all of the movies all together, it just didn't feel. This one did feel different. I think it's probably my second favorite battle, and obviously at the end where there's like big giant elephants my favorite. It was my favorite fight. The thing is, I'm reading my notes and one of them says Butcher is the goat. I don't know who the hell is Butcher. I can only think of the guy from The Boys. And I like the trees. Trees were nice. I like them. Who's Butcher? Fuck. Who is he? Oh my god. I wait, let me Google it. Let me Google it. Butcher, Lord of the Rings. Oh my Okay, so I was actually thinking about Butcher from The Boys. He just looked so odd. The blonde doesn't suit him at all. I did like his character. I thought he was cool. Uh, but damn, oh god, the wig was not it for him. Also, old Smeagol, before he turned into Gollum, he looked so much like the guy who wanted to marry the young niece of the king. They looked alike. I thought it was him at first when I saw that scene. Oh, never mind. Pippin was the one who touched the ball and then who worked for the Gondors. Oh yeah, the ghosts that Aragorn got to fight for them at the end, they reminded me of SpongeBob ghosts. Actually, it's a little sad that not a lot of people died. Now that I think about it, no one did. Because I wrote my death predictions. I wrote Elf Girl, the hot one, then Dwarf, and one of the Hobbits. But everyone survived in it, which I guess was good. It's not bad, but I expect at least one person to die. They could have killed the Dwarf. Or Legolas at this point. I did not really care about him. He just looked hot. That's all. Oh yeah, there was a moment in the third movie where Gandalf was protecting Pippin and he was fighting a lot of enemies at the same time by himself. And then Pippin killed one of them and Gandalf was like, oh, before he was judging him, oh, please leave, this is not your battle. And then he just turns around after Pippin killed one enemy. He's like, my bad, I was wrong about you, go on. What do you... Also, I remember, if I remember correctly, it wasn't even like a deserved kill. I think the enemy was like looking at Gandalf, and then Pippin killed him because he was trying to protect Gandalf, which is good, but it wasn't deserved. They really like using big spiders in every fantasy movie. In Harry Potter, there were multiple. In this one too. I think before, when Gollum started mentioning, oh, she's gonna get him, blah blah blah, no one got out of there alive, I thought, okay, it's probably like a big spider or some big insect. The guy, when a Gondor guy, he tried to burn his son. I guess he lost his mind completely, but I thought it was just unnecessary. I don't know. I did feel bad for all the elephants and horses that were killed during the battle at the end. I think second one might be my least favorite. The first one is my favorite. It's probably the shortest one out of all of them, I have to guess. And again, I really like big groups and seeing all of them interact with each other. Because again, Frodo and Sam after did not really have a lot of interactions except like Gondor's brother and Gollum.